Hello and welcome to the Fat Guardians podcast number 4. I believe I'm the only one here. Hi, I'm acbtheman, and due to some scheduling issuing and everything else, I am the only one here. So what am I going to talk about? Well, everything everyone's been talking about in the last couple of days, the matchmaking updates, Crimson Doubles, February update, all of that stuff, the lack of content, whereas Destiny 2, the Kotaku article, everything that we have to start with. So, round of introductions. Alright, hey, I'm acbtheman again. I'm the only one here. What have I been playing lately? Well, I don't have an Xbox again. I do apologize. We had to sell it so that we could, buy some baby milk and all that stuff. So, with no Xbox, what have I been playing? Well, I've been playing Fallout New Vegas on my computer. It's fun. I've got 180 something hours into this playthrough. So, I like Fallout New Vegas, but it's pretty much the only game I have to play besides maybe Five Nights at Freddy's, but I don't want to play that very much. So let's get started. First off, a couple weeks ago, Bungie put out a weekly update. A lot of people got really mad at this, and I sort of was one of them. Essentially, they said, Iron Banner's back. Yay, Iron Banner Rift was back. They then said, come on, February we'll have an update called Crimson Days, which is essentially the Valentine's Day update. Very fun. But then, below both of those, we had an omission. Essentially said, when they dropped Sparrow Racing League, they dropped essentially sweaty matchmaking, where you were going to find people around your skill level. While this made for a little bit faster queuing time, the games were horrible. It was a little bit more fun. Everyone was more closely ranked until you got to that person who was literally around the world, who you could not shoot, you could not hit. You would snipe them in the head. They would not die. You would die. And then they maybe would die 15 to 20 seconds later. And I'm not joking, 15 or 20 seconds. And so why did they do this? Well, they wanted to try to implement more matchmaking things to try to make it a little bit better. They thought, hey, why don't we do this? We'll like matchmaking, but it already had immense lag. So why add something that's going to add a little bit more lag? Well, I see what they were going with there, but it just made a lot of people upset because they literally told us in December they did not change a thing, and then all of a sudden, boom, they changed a thing. Then a couple days later, they said, hey, we're changing matchmaking. We're going to make it a little bit more based on connection, but not as much as you could have been. They did this with Iron Banner. They kind of used Iron Banner as a test, which I don't think they should have done. Iron Banner should have been pretty much like it was because everyone knows about Iron Banner. Everyone knows how much laggy it is. I don't think they need to potentially do something that could break Iron Banner in the middle of a once a week or 1 week a month thing. So, I don't know. Then a couple days later, they said, hey, they have a new CEO. Why would they introduce this? I don't know. You never know really what goes on in the background of there. But a new CEO directly after all this, directly before all this matchmaking stuff, directly before a potentially big update, which they keep, which they keep hinting towards in February. And then the next bit of update was, hey, guess what? Another update. They tried to do more matchmaking, which people have said it made queuing times a little longer, but the lag was a little better. And honestly, if queuing times are a little bit longer, I can deal with having a better game for it. Then we have this week's weekly update. And this week's weekly update essentially says, hey, they've done a third tuning. They're just trying to make it better. Iron Banner was pretty good, but it looks like they still need a little bit more tuning to take care of. Now it's saying Crimson Doubles. More about this game mode. You will go in with a buddy. You go into 2v2, and when you die, your partner gains a buff to everything. I mean everything. It says, when you find yourself alone in a fight, you gain maximum ratings for armor, agility, recovery, and weapon handling speed. So essentially, you become like as strong as you can when your partner dies. All this is going to, what this is going to do is it's going to make it to where you don't automatically end up losing when your partner dies. What it's going to do for the other team is if you get one kill, you both need to play as a team still to take out the person with max stats. It's just going to add a fun new mechanic where you can essentially go in there with 1 and 2, and it says people can drag their friends through, but what's going to really make this work is if thetalltech and I play together, and we shoot together. We team shoot. We're doing everything we need together. It is a 1 week game mode. It's just to let you know, it's just like any other event. This is just going to be small. Um, they say the matchmaking is doing very well, and they've also put out that there is going to be an update in February. I don't know if it's a tuning update, which it sounds like it's going to be a weapon tuning update. I don't really know. They say this week sometime, around 2.5, 2.4, they're going to tell us what this update entails. I really honestly hope it has some Sun Singer nerfs, and people aren't going to like me when I say that. Sun Singer is very powerful. Firebolt grenades, the melee, I don't know, overshield, flame shield, excuse me, where you get your shield by just getting a melee hit. I really hated that. I guess I do now that I'm a Titan playing defender, when you have to get a kill with your disintegrate instead of just a hit with flame shield. And so, I really hope that they maybe nerf the flame bolt grenade, because pretty much the only thing that can effectively evade that is the Shade Step. Not everyone is a Shade Step hunter, especially in Crucible. If I run Hunter in this, I'm definitely going to be running Golden Gun just for the fun of it, so you can get 2 kills with that super. Anyways, I believe this is going to be a very good update. I hope they bring fusion rifles back. I want to play with a fusion rifle so bad. It's the most unique gun in the game, and they just can't do it. I really hope they do. I really hope, honestly, they have an update or information about a bigger update. We have nothing to go on with what's coming up next. Yes, Crimson Days, but it is the third kind of event since Taken King came out. This time last year, we had Dark Below, and we were getting ready for House of Wolves. And yes, I understand that these events are free, and we're not having to pay for them, but we need something more than just these little events. These little events are a month or two and gone away. With the Dark Below stuff, it was all there. You had it forever. We still technically have it, even after Taken King in year 2. The House of Wolves came out, same deal. Taken King, same deal. But then, and there's stuff we're still figuring out with the Taken King, and they're still releasing exotics and all that stuff. But we have not had a big major story update in a while. We want more story. We always do. And I understand it's hard to make this game and hard to keep interjecting stuff in, but I got an idea. Maybe interject some of the grimoire into the game. Maybe. But I really wish they would bring out what's coming up next. I understand at E3 they're going to tell us about some new PlayStation exclusive armor that we're going to get when we get whatever comes out next year. By the way, I hate that. I also don't like that The Division is Xbox exclusive. I know there's exclusives, but I don't like them. Anyways, I hope they tell us about something new. They come out and say, by the way, in October, you're going to get this big update, or in December, or in September, or guess what? We don't have Destiny 2, but guess what? We have Taken King 2 and more about that story. We'd be all excited. I'm not going to stop playing Destiny. I love playing Destiny when I get my Xbox back. That is literally the first thing I'm going to download, and I will download everything else overnight. But I wish they would just give us a little bit more communication. They are starting to communicate again after their break around Christmas, but they're literally saying, well, we screwed up. Here's matchmaking updates. We're trying to fix it. Well, here's a new event. Yes, you like events, right? And we're like, yeah, we like events. And like, okay. Instead of, well, what can we be doing now? Granted, they are probably working on behind the scenes stuff. They just don't have anything to show us, anything to tell us. And as players, we're getting a little antsy. Honestly, the only reason I'm still playing every day is because my buddies play. And yes, I play a lot by myself. I solo queue a lot. I do a lot of LFG. But my buddies are the ones who are really why I keep playing. The talltech especially coming in. Just to give an update really fast, I have not spoken to the Tango 9 in probably a month or two, and I have not spoken to Nature's Ninjas. The Tango 9, every once in a while, will start playing a bunch of like Steam games and stuff like that, and we just don't talk. And I have to make an effort to, and I will, because we need every member of the Fat Guardians back. Nature's Ninjas lost Xbox Live for a while, so I wasn't able to talk to him, and so I'm just trying to get back in the hang and talk to him. Anyways, so all my buddies that are on there, everyone I play with, if you go look on the Fat Guardians page, we have a couple other people we like to play with as well. Blaster Riser's a very cool guy. But anyways, everybody like that keeps me coming back to this game and making me come back to this game. But we can't rely on just our buddies coming back to the same old game. If I went back and said, hey, Lucas, remember when we played Halo 3? And we used to love playing all these extra game modes. And he was like, yeah. And we busted out the Xbox 360. We'd be like, oh, yeah, they do have better games now. Halo 3 was an amazing game. I probably spent, oh no, I don't know, probably about 1,000 hours playing that game with my buddies. But because new games have come out like Destiny, we really just want to play these newer games. And so if they don't bring anything else, we're going to move on to something else. When the Division comes out, if I have some money, I'm probably going to buy it. Looks interesting. All the videos I've saw are interesting. It's essentially, quote unquote, real life Destiny instead of the sort of sci-fi. I know Division sci-fi, but space wizards and all that stuff. But I'm probably going to get it, and we're going to play it a little bit. But if they bring something to Destiny, I'm going to jump back on it. I love Bungie. I love everything they do. Please just give us a nugget. If you would just come out and say, hey, guess what? We're going to tell you something in D3. I'd be really excited. They said, hey, guess what? We're going to tell you something next month. Or even, hey, guess what? Something's coming out next year and you're going to have to pay for it. When they say pay for it, it generally means story updates. Speaking of story, the one thing we haven't heard about is not the Traveler. We've heard all about Traveler. Is the Exo Stranger. Where's the Exo Stranger? thetalltech probably doesn't really know because he blazed through the story so he could get through the Taken King. But just more story like that. Bring some of that stuff back, and they may be waiting down the road. They may be, I don't know. But just give us something so we can bite our teeth into. Another thing that we need to look into is this the model that they're going to have from now on? One major release and a bunch of events throughout the year. That's okay. It can sustain itself, and people will still play this game, but they have to have bigger events, in my opinion. Yes, this Crimson Days is going to be cool. Everything's going to be red. Everything's going to be Valentine's Days. We're going to get a PvP mode. It's going to be awesome. They probably are going to drop an exotic or two in the February update. They're probably going to bring some year one exotics up. But they need to have more than just this. I think maybe a mission or two with a little bit of the Grimoire. Maybe a mission or two with a little bit more story in there. And yes, I understand people are saying that the next big DLC could be Cabal because they sent that distress signal out in the middle of space. I understand that, but the next big DLC being Cabal, that could be Destiny 2. That could be Taken King 2 instead of Destiny 2. But then we have all these updates, which I don't mind coming back around and doing Festival of the Lost again, or going back around and doing Crimson Days around February. I don't mind those. But if you're just going to have holiday events, it's not going to sustain itself. Financially, it might when you keep rotating around the emotes and everything. I personally have spent like $25, $30 in the Eververse store just because I like all that stuff. I have no problem paying for that. I love Bungie. I love the game. I want to support it. Financially, it may be supported, but player-wise, it may not if this is all they're giving us. Now, back to matchmaking just for a second. I like the matchmaking updates, but they need to have more PvE updates. Stop giving us PvP updates. A lot of people play it, yes. Give us a little bit more PvE updates just to, I don't know, maybe make things harder. Nightfall modifiers, all that stuff. Everyone says Nightfall modifiers. Forge mode. I don't know. If you're going to give us a PvP update, please give us custom matches. That's all I have to say about that. So, is Destiny going to survive for 10 years? I believe so. I just think they need to give us a little bit more. And I know it's hard to make the games. I know it's hard to do that. Just give us a little bit more just to entice us with that carrot on the stick. Doesn't even have to be anything just to say there's a huge release coming out in September. We would all be happy and we'd turn around and we'd say, oh, Bungie's the greatest and all that stuff. Well, I just wanted to say thank you for listening to me ramble. I've been rambling on about maybe 15 minutes or so. So I'm going to go ahead and stop, clean up this audio, and send it out. thetalltech said he's going to try to get a good mic, so maybe he can be on a little bit more of these podcasts and a little bit more of the videos. I'm going to try to talk to the Tank on 9 and Nature's Ninjas, see if we can get back on here and have every member of the Fat Guardians. Please remember, when I get my Xbox back, which should be close to February 12th or February 13th, that we are going to start the Fat Raiders. I don't know if that's going to be the name of the group, but we're going to start the rating group. If you would like to be part of the rating group, please go to our Bungie.net page. I'm going to set up here in a second the rating group. Just put your name down. We will try to raid at least every other week, preferably on a night that we can all do it, maybe Sunday night, Saturday night, so we can kind of get around everyone's jobs, because the Tall Tech and I guess everyone has a big job that we actually have to do. This YouTube thing hasn't quite kicked off yet. Please like, comment, subscribe. We got a dislike on our last video, and honestly, that's great. Somebody watched our video enough to say, hey, I don't like this. So please do something to our video. Share it. Hey, if you don't like our videos, at least share it, please. Do something positive. We just want everyone to kind of hear us, and we would love, like I said in the very first video, to have our voices heard in the sea of everything Destiny, and I think that still definitely applies. We're going to try to put out as many videos as we can. They're generally going to be about 10 minutes or less, unless they're podcasts, and podcasts can go anywhere from 15 minutes to 45 minutes, but we just want to have you kind of join our group if you want to. Eventually, my goal is to be one of the Unite the clans where they say, oh, the Fat Guardians, and everyone's like, what's the Fat Guardians? Because we're a small clan. That is my ultimate goal, not to become a YouTube success, not to become eventually a Twitch success, not to become like a very famous Destiny player, which it'd be very nice, but to be on the Unite the Clans page. That is all I would like to do. So please like, comment, subscribe, all that stuff. Share us, tweet us, Facebook us, everything. It's going to help us out, and I think that we can help grow a community. We're not here to say we're the best. We're not here to prove that, oh, everybody else sucks. We're just here to say, hey, if you want a place to hang out and play and have everything just be a fun, chill time, come to the Fat Guardians. All right, this has been ACB the Man and ACB the Man chatting at you for, about 16 minutes here. I just want to say thank you for listening to all this. If you have made it this far, please put a sly little comment down there saying banana. If you comment banana, I know you've listened this far. Thank you. One last thing. Any pizza can be a personal pan pizza if you try hard enough. Thank you, and have a good night.